Education is one of the important aspects of human life. It shapes the way we think, the way we communicate, and the way we interact with the world. Dear viewers, welcome to the platform of AUST on Queen Amina TV. I am Amina Ilyasu, and together with me today is the President of the African University of Science and Technology, Professor Azikiwe Peter Onwalu, FAS. Sir, you are welcome.
Thank you.
So today we'll be discussing on the theme Discovering AUST, where we'll look into the vision and mission of this great learning hub. Now, if you know about this university, you need to listen deeply. And if you don't know, you need to listen attentively in order to discover what is embedded in this great learning institution. Listen and stay with us as we discuss. We have oceans of viewers out there who are watching us right now. And I know majority of them would like to know who is Professor Azikiwe Peter Onwalu and what does he do?
Okay, thank you, Amina. Yeah, my name is Professor Azikiwe Peter Onwalu. I currently serve as the President of African University of Science and Technology here in Abuja.
Okay. Okay, sir. From our viewers, I know very well that majority of them do not know about this university. They will be wondering where this university is, what happens within this university. In your own words, sir, how can you explain to them in simple terms for them to understand what is about the African University of Science and Technology?
Yes, the African University of Science and Technology is a continental initiative. What I mean by that is a university built to serve the entire sub-Saharan Africa. As opposed to a typical Nigerian university, this university is built to serve both Nigerians but also people from all parts of Africa. And this is why it was established by the Nelson Mandela Institution, which is an international body based in Washington, United States, that gave birth to this university to provide the kind of facilities and the environment you will find in developed economies, to provide that here in Africa. Not just in Africa, but here in Abuja. We are open to all students from all parts of Africa. So what is distinct or unique about the university is that the university is a melting pot for people from different African countries. We've tried here to create an environment, a community of scholars from all over. Of course, that then means that the university has to take care of a multicultural environment to be sure that people from different cultures, from different parts of Africa, can have an environment where they can coexist and work together. The students get the best in terms of having access to world-class scholars from different parts of Africa here in Abuja.
Wow. Okay, that's a good insight. So our viewers who are watching us right there and do not know about the African University of Science and Technology, I hope you have heard the prof from the horse's mouth. That is African University of Science and Technology. Sir, leadership in a knowledge institution is different from leadership in a corporate or political institution. What philosophy guides your stewardship of AUST?
Well, being a knowledge based institution, you agree with me that scholarship, that is the ability to do research, to generate knowledge, to disseminate knowledge, and do everything we do in universities. That can only thrive when you have a system where freedom of scholarships, freedom of studies, freedom. In fact, when you look at our logo, you will see that the motto of the university is knowledge is freedom.
Yes.
Knowledge is what frees man from the shackles of everything, shackles of poverty, poverty of the mind, poverty of the spirit, and so on. And of course, when we talk about poverty, our mind usually goes to poverty of materials, but we address more of poverty of the mind or spirit in the first place, because it is when you acquire knowledge, when you have an environment that enables you to acquire knowledge, it frees you. First of all, your mind becomes broadened, and then you will now have the ability and capacity to solve problems. And so the philosophy behind us, what we do, is for people to be able to learn. They have to be free. They have to be enabled to do what they want to do, to study what they want to study. But how do you do that? You create an ecosystem where people have free access to knowledge. Free access means that when you are within this community, you have access to all the resources that are already provided within the university, and then all the resources available to our partners. We thank God for technology. With technology, we have over 50 partners from all over the world, especially the developed economies, partner universities, partner industries, and so on. And with technology, whatever is available to all these partner institutions in terms of knowledge is also available to us. For example, if you come to the university, you may not see a gigantic building called library. The library may be small, but the e-resources or the electronic library we have is really huge, because in addition to the ones we are able to subscribe, we have access to the database of almost all major international organizations, especially within Africa and in fact beyond Africa. Now, what that means is that what is available to a number of institutions abroad is also available to us.
Wow.
Now, so we try to create that community of scholars where knowledge is the thing driving everything. Today, almost everything you can think of, every knowledge you can think of, is available on the internet. But of course, you have to know how to access those information in such a way that they are useful to you. So we teach and do research in using all this knowledge that are available all over the world, and then try to now use them to solve these problems we've already identified in Africa. And in doing that, all students that pass through this university, first of all, we create this environment for them. They learn from the wealth of knowledge that is already available, and then we now push them to solve these problems using this knowledge that they have gained. And we have no restrictions as to what you can learn. That's why we say knowledge is freedom.
Wow.
The idea is that when you are sufficiently equipped with knowledge, you can solve problems by yourself. And so because of that, the university curriculum is based on the philosophy of project-based learning, as opposed to some kind of curriculum that is designed in such a way that you just heap knowledge on people. But in project-based learning, you first of all introduce problems. For any program or any course that anybody studies in this university, the teacher will first of all introduce problems or challenges, and then get the students to work together individually and then collectively, through individual projects, through collective projects or team projects, and then they come up with solutions. You will agree with me that there is hardly any problem you propose today that you cannot find the solution or suggestions for solution using technology. Today, the artificial intelligence has come to stay. If you understand how to ask AI or artificial intelligence any question,
Yes.
you will get a solution, you will get a response. So the teacher is now only there to guide and, of course, to also add to whatever technology has provided, because at the end of the day, the human intelligence is still there. You cannot do without it. So that way, the kind of knowledge that is available to students is not just only what is in the head of the teacher, but also in the internet, you can find what is in the head of millions of professors, all available. So all you need to understand is how to ask AI to give you a solution to a problem. And then, so the students are exposed to all these technologies, and that way, you'll find that the time available to a student is now optimized and maximized. So if a student is supposed to do a work or learn something within 1 hour or 2 hours, you'll find that with technology, that student can learn that in 10 minutes.
Yes.
So that now leaves the student with more time to do more practical things and get things done. Every field today is driven by technology in practice. There is hardly any field of endeavor, any field of human endeavor that is not now driven by software. This is why we inject technology into our teaching in such a way that students, what a student will normally spend 1 hour doing, he can actually achieve that task in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So he has more time to do many things and solve more problems.
Wow, I believe our viewers are listening attentively and also deeply, as I earlier said. The prof has been talking and he has highlighted so many important things. This speech is highly motivating because this is what we actually need in Africa right now. Sir, you have highlighted a lot of problems that Africa is facing. You talk about internet, you talk about security, and many more. And I'm happy that from your explanation, you said that the AUST is knowledge-based, the system, and it is knowledge-based and more of practical. So, with all these mechanisms put in place, where do you see Africa in 10 to 20 years with institutions like the AUST?
Yes. The good thing about Africa is that Africa has the resources. All the electronic gadgets we are using today, most of the components are made from basic materials that are found in Africa. The gap then is, how do we get Africa to be able to reverse this trend so that we can add value to what we have within Africa? Because that is what will create wealth. In Africa, we have, our population is younger. We have more young people, and the population, the birth rate is actually increasing.
Yes.
Now, what that means is that if we are able to energize our young population with knowledge, and then with a very good environment or a better environment, you find that our youthful population can actually develop all these things, and then so the trend can now be reversed. And you can see it happening in the ICT sector. Nigeria is reputed to have one of the most dynamic ICT sector in the world. What our young people are doing in terms of using mobile phones, coding, developing apps to drive all kinds of things, you can name them. In the financial sector, for example, you've seen very good examples of young people coming up with solutions. I'm sure people may not note, but you see, we're all enjoying OPay, we're enjoying Flutterwave, we're enjoying what's the
Yes.
other one? Money Point. These are new digital banks that are even giving more service to people, more than what the normal commercial banks are doing. And they are all digital banks. In order, what I mean by digital banks is that you can hardly find their branches like you will find the branches of the big banks. Yet, when you look at the volume of transactions, they are actually doing more. And this is because they are providing service that is really better than that of the normal banking systems. This is just an example with fintech, what fintech can do. You can also give examples in agriculture. With agri-tech, you see young people now doing all kinds of digitally driven agriculture. You will see it in healthcare. Today, we talk about artificial intelligence in healthcare. Now, for all these things to happen, you see that we need a young, youthful population that are knowledgeable. And we are seeing the examples of what is happening in our innovation hubs. There are innovation hubs springing up almost all over most of the major Nigerian cities, even though some of them are also associated with bad behavior. I see an Africa that will change in the next couple of decades with all these kinds of knowledge. So you see our young people making waves. And all we need to do is to reset our environment. Because you see young Nigerians, when they leave this country and go elsewhere, like Europe, America, or Far East, you see them excelling in tech, even with the training they got from Nigeria.
This is true because in Nigeria today, we have very large number of youth, and what you hear almost all the time is Japa, Japa, Japa. Why Japa? The president has said it that they need enabling environment because these youths are actually very intelligent in whatever they do. But anyway, this discussion will continue. Do not go away. Stay with us and we'll be back.